Well, hello. Welcome. One of the main reasons I'm putting together these videos is I feel like there's a lot of people out there who are just like me. You might have grown up in a very religious or oppressive setting that led to a life of kind of bouncing around from religion to religion, denomination to denomination, just kind of always looking for a way to connect with people and to connect with God that makes sense. A long time ago, back in like the 2000s, I was a very staunch Christian conservative, like devoted Christian. I was the guy, I literally took a concordance with me to church. The pastor would say something and I'd start looking up, oh man, that lines up with this scripture over here and over here. I'd have to go research it and find it. I was there every time the doors were open. I was always in a position of leadership, helping out the youth group or the worship team. I was the band director at the largest church in Western Colorado for 4 or 5 years. And in 2000, I voted for George Herbert Walker Bush Jr. because I was a devout Christian. And he was going to ban gay marriage and he was going to ban abortion. And at the time, I felt like those were the two greatest threats to the safety of our nation. That's what I believed as a Christian. That it was my job to vote for this guy because he was the Christian candidate. And I was willing to overlook his business failures. I was willing to overlook his inability to speak in public and just kind of made a bumbled mess of everything. I remember just watching that first 4 years of his presidency thinking, no, I've done the right thing, but it was just train wreck after train wreck. I used to be like a tinfoil hat wearing conspiracy theorist, but like everything that happened with 9/11 and then Katrina and then the real estate market crash, like every time I would do any research on that administration, I'd come to the conclusion that it was just plain incompetence. And I didn't vote for him the second time because I began to see this distance between what I felt the Bible really said about love and about how we're really supposed to treat other people, whether they're believers or not. And then there was how these political candidates that we're all supposed to vote for would act. And they were not the same thing. They were nowhere even close to the same thing. And I just got tired of being lied to. And I think there's a lot of people out there just like me. It's like you want to vote for that Republican conservative candidate because you feel like it's the morally appropriate thing to do. I know, because I was there and I went and checked the box and voted for the guy who sent our sons and daughters halfway across the world to die in the sand for, I still have no fucking clue why. And 25% of them that came back commit suicide. And I feel responsible for some of that because I voted for that guy. I think there's a lot of people out there just like me. You're kind of stuck in this. What do I do? The church isn't right. The church isn't preaching love or acceptance. I see out there in the world right now maybe one or two churches that are feeding people and doing the things that the Bible actually says. Here's what Christians are supposed to do every day. I think it's sad. I think it's tragic. But there is no God in your church. Because there is no love in your church. And that's why so many of us don't go to church anymore. And that's why I make these videos. Because I think there's a lot of people out there just like me who've never been introduced to the concept of having a relationship with God outside of any book, any structured organization of religion. A relationship with God is nothing more than you and God. Even if you don't believe in God, you still have some kind of relationship with the nothing that you think of when you think of God. And I think that's just as appropriate as the guy like me who's always looking for another chance to meditate and connect. I think there's a space where we can all come together and see that a relationship with the divinity of life is based on love and liberation and not rules and books and some far off awaiting judgment. It's time to let it go. And I want to be here for you for that. So let's breathe. Thank you, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Just breathe in and out. Let your focus be on the peace and tranquility of the room around you. Thank you. Now bring to your mind something that you're grateful for. Something you're thankful for. I'm so thankful for my home. There's a lot of times I wasn't. But I am so thankful for it now. Thank you. Just relax into that state of gratitude. Even if it's something you think of and it's like you don't really feel it. You're like, man, I mean, I get it. Yeah, that's cool. We can work with that. Even be in the place where you can say, I wish I had something to be grateful for. I wish I felt more grateful. As you breathe, you are in the opportunity to experience gratitude. Thank you. Thank you. And now as you sit with that feeling of gratitude and peace, envision in your mind a world at peace. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I love you so much. Thank you for listening to me today. I really want to keep the politics in these videos down to like about a 3. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm just shooting for a 3. 1 being we never talk about it at all, and 10 being it's just a rant every day about what's wrong with America. Yeah, that's not going to happen here. We'll keep it at a 3. I love you. May you be blessed with health and well-being. Namaste.